Paris, the art capital of the world. Henri Matisse, Louis Bourgeois, Pablo Picasso, this is where some of the world's most important artists made history. Today, Paris still appeals to those hungry for artistic experiences. That's how it attracted me. My name is Marzena Jarczak, and I want to explore parts of the art world that usually remain unseen. In this series, I'm going to see how art is made, sold and collected, and I'm taking you with me. Promoting artists, curating exhibitions, and educating audiences across the globe are just some of the roles that modern art galleries are taking. To take a closer look at this complex process, I'm visiting Justine Durette at David Zwirner, a gallery operating across multiple locations and representing artists such as Yayoi Kusama, Sherry Levine, Luc Tuymans, and Gerhard Richter.
Well, the gallery opened 30 years ago. It's our 30th anniversary this year, so we have a long history of representing many of the best contemporary artists out there today internationally. And I think what makes us really unique in the contemporary art gallery landscape is the quality of the programming that we do. So that spans from, as you said, the exhibitions, which you see in our spaces, but also everything that we do for our artists. We are an artist-centric gallery. The artists are really who we're working for, and to give them a platform to express their ideas, make their work, show their work to the largest possible audience. So the exhibitions are, of course, a very important part of that, and that's where everything starts, showing and sharing their work with the public, but we also do a lot of great content and programming beyond that, publishing catalogs. We have a podcast series. We have great online channels where we publish videos, content, essays, interviews, all kinds of great programming around what our artists are doing.
How you build relations with the collectors?
I'd say one of the things that I love about my job is talking about the work of our artists, and this is something that I do every day with collectors, sharing the story behind a specific work, behind an artist's thinking for a show, sharing the history of a historical work.
So in a way, you build a bridge between the artists and the viewers and collectors. How do you establish relations with new artists?
Every case is really unique. To give you a recent example, we just staged our first exhibition in New York of Gerhard Richter. It was a huge honor to start representing and working with Gerhard Richter, who's probably one of the most important painters of the last 50 years. And in 1993, when we opened, we had a small roster of artists. Today, we represent 80 artists and estates, so it's really grown, of course, over the years. David Zwirner and the team is always looking at, we travel around the world, seeing exhibitions, following artists that are both established and up and coming. So we are a global gallery, of course, but we also want to be really embedded and part of the communities in the cities in which we are located. For our shows in Paris, I can say that we have about over 5,000 visitors for every show, which is really impressive. And we're very proud of that we really offer free exhibitions. You know, there's no entrance fee. You can see the best contemporary art by the best artists out there in a beautiful architectural space for free.
Art galleries are not the only ones putting art on sale. Auction houses such as Christie's are also a place to go for collectors and art enthusiasts. I'm meeting Victoire Gineste, the Deputy Director of Christie's Paris, to talk about the role of an auction house in the process of selling art. What is the role of the auction house on the art market?
So what is the role of an auction house? It's to sell paintings and works of art from antiquities to contemporary artists to the present day.
Which means that they had a previous owner before and they're coming back to the market.
Exactly. We are not there to build the market value of an emergent artist. That is really the role of dealers and gallery. We are there to just sell a piece of art from secondary market. We have specialists in all specialist departments, from antiquities to contemporary art. We also have 250 years of experience all around the world, so we know very well the collectors all around the world. We have an unparalleled database of their tastes, their buying patterns.
So auctions are the cherry on top of your work, but until they happen, there are many months, I can imagine, of preparation. So if you could tell us a little bit more about what happens in the building before you begin the auction.
So our day-to-day work, and mainly mine as a generalist, is to undertake valuation in our client houses, properties. It could be for sale, or it could be sometimes just for estate planning or for insurance purpose. When we did those valuation, our role is also to let our client know about the market for their specific piece of art and paintings. We will tell them about those trends, and we'll let them know what are our suggestions about short-term sale.
So in a way, you're also educating your clients and your collectors how to sell the works of art in the right way, and also how to build their collections. It's the kind of knowledge that they can get from you as well.
Exactly. It's really a key role we have to play in the family, is to give them the good advice. If we really think that is not the good period for a piece of art, we will then let them know. And in the meantime, if we have the knowledge that they get a piece which is really desirable by the market, we will tell them also.
And what qualities does an object of art has to have to be sold?
You cannot only value a piece of art or a painting in dollars. You really need to take account its history, its provenance, and that's really key. I take an example. A smoked cigar can be considered as rubbish, for example. But if it's a smoked cigar that belonged to Winston Churchill, it will value thousands.
What kind of emotions do you have when you conduct the auctions and you see that some of the world's most important art pieces are being sold?
I will have emotion before and after the sale, but not during the sale.
And what kind of emotions are they?
Before, I'm anxious. After, I'm happy.
Okay.
I mean, when you go to the rostrum and take the gavel, you know that you are like an actor in a theater. You don't know what is the mood of your public. You don't know if they are in a good or bad mood. You don't know if you're going to have a lot of bidders or not. So last year, we did the biggest collection ever sold in the world. It was a collection of Paul Allen, and we sold the whole collection for $1.6 billion.
How people that cannot afford participating in the auctions benefit from your amazing work here?
If you share our passion for art and for objects and for paintings, to come and to visit our exhibition for free here at Christie's. It's a temporary museum. We have always something on show, and you will always find our expert, our specialists. We will be very pleased to share their knowledge and to welcome you in our space and exhibition rooms.
Setting world records can be electrifying, but Paris is also the city of intimate antique stores, modern-day cabinets of curiosities. I'm headed to meet Agathe Derieux at Yvelon Antiques, a charming antique store and a family business opened in Paris, Rive Gauche, back in the 1950s.
My grandmother was working with his father. Her father, she was working with an antique dealer who was not very nice with her. I would say it was very, very bad. And she saw this place. It was only one room. And she said, okay, if I can work there, I'm sure, 100% sure, I will do something. And her father said, okay, let's try it. I will offer you the rent of this room for a few months, and let's see what you can do for it. It was a very hard work. You have to stay in the shop, in the gallery, lots of time to be there for your customers, and also to sourcing everywhere. So I would not say that she go very often to museum because she doesn't have time for that. But she was already very well taught by her father, so well that it was for full life, I would say. When I was a child, I enjoyed a lot to come here because everywhere I have friends. I used to think that during night, everybody here have a big party. And
Every sculpture would become
yes,
alive, or
paintings they are coming out on party tonight. And so for me, it was very attractive.
And was your grandmother also trying to educate you in art outside of this place?
It was very hard because the only education of my grandmother regarding all this matter is when I ask something, what is it? She say, it's not a good question. The only question is, do you like it?
And how do you look for the objects that you sell here? How do you make your selection?
First, there is lots of dealers who collect everywhere, and they make a first selection, and then you arrive from this first selection. It's easier for me to go in a place where lots of things are already there. You will not find something specific because you can't find. It's not like you will not buy furniture. Okay, if you want furniture, it's not this the proper place. You will let your heart talk to you, and then they buy, because something is vibrating.
And I'm interested in the people that come here. Is there anything that all of your customers have in common, if you could characterize them?
They have in common the art. They are not here for financial investment. They come here to find something else. It can celebrate a special day for them. I will tell you the story of one lady. It's easier. She started to buy a child portrait. So we start to talk, and she explained us that she lose a child, and since this day she need to find back not her child, of course, but something around childhood in portrait. As we immediately go so directly in her intimacy, of course something strong starts, and it continues. She comes very often to this bond start here, and it's built after portrait after portrait.
It was a pleasure to see so many great artworks within one day, but for some, looking at art isn't enough. What motivates people to buy and collect art? Follow our next episode to learn more about the world of iconic museums and private art collectors. Make sure to subscribe to Vogue Polska YouTube channel, and see you soon!